I gave life to the game. It's only right. I got the right to be king.
What's up, YouTube? So I know a lot of you painters that's coming across this video are probably curious about what's better for masking off cars, paper or plastic. Well, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to say it comes down to preference because they both will do the job, but there are pros and cons to using either one. Okay, let me give you an example, right? The paper is a little harder to use to mask to get over things like this. See, the plastic is much easier for masking off the whole car. Even if you're going to mask open the opening, because of the size of the sheets of paper, you'll end up using about 3 sheets to cover this area. So the paper is a little harder to work with than plastic. But the pros of paper is that it does a great job of blocking the paint, because the paper, if you use the right paper, because I know a lot of people use newspaper. Newspaper is not really the best paint to use, the best paper to use for painting, because newspaper will bleed through. Right? This is masking paper for painting cars. It will not bleed through. I can get paint on it, clear coat on it. It will soak it up, but it will not bleed through. It still lets the car be clean on the other side. Plastic, on the other hand, is easy for this type of work. So what I do here, I'll edge up the whole opening with masking tape, and I can just lay 1 sheet of plastic on it, and then I just cut off the excess. Very easy to use, even for covering up the car. As you see here, plastic is easy. The disadvantage to using plastic, though, is that it does not absorb the paint. What happens is the paint will land on here and it will dry on here, but it will not be absorbed. The downside is, once you're removing the plastic, if this area is not fully cured, if the area that you're trying to keep clean, that you just painted, is not fully cured, once you pull this plastic, the flakes that are all landed and dried on the plastic will all fall into your fresh paint down here. So timing is very important as far as when to take off the plastic, because you have 2 options. You can take it off before it's fully dry, which is what I generally do, which is about an hour, 2 hours after I painted is when I'll usually remove the plastic. Or you can allow it to fully dry, and then you'll have to use a razor blade to cut along the edge to get everything out and try to get it off before this is all fully cured. And so there's advantages. So like I said, it comes down to preference. Some people use plastic for everything. Some people use paper for everything. So that's why I'm saying it comes down to preference. I don't think there's a right or wrong. I think there are just some parts that are easier. I think this is easier for plastic. This I can do in plastic. I did the other side actually in plastic, but I prefer to use the paper for the door, only because when I'm doing the lines and stuff, it's easier just to cut the paper right along the shape than it is than fighting with the plastic to try to get that line perfect around. So I prefer to use paper when I'm doing the inside of doors, but I did use plastic on the other side. Hold on, I'll take you guys over there. So as you see over here, I used plastic to do the inside and outside on both sides. You can do either one. I'm doing it really for the sake of this video. I knew I was going to do this video, but you can use either one. It does work. I just prefer paper for this type of thing. But as you see, there's really no right or wrong way. You just have to learn which method works best for you. The plastic is relatively cheap, so you can get a roll of plastic for not too much money, and so a lot of people prefer that. The paper is a little bit more expensive, but like I said, it will absorb. It's a little bit more forgiving as far as the paint goes, and it's fine. But as you see, paper or plastic, the results are going to be the same. And that's it, YouTube. All right, so I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you on the next video.